Hi, this is Freya with another edition of How to Sing That Song. Today I got something really special for you. It's a musical theater piece. As per requests, people have asked me to do musical theater, which is one of my big loves, and I'm doing out of the Phantom of the Opera, Think of Me. It's pretty much the first song that comes up that Christine sings, and it's beautiful. The reason why I chose this song is that in this piece right here, you have to use much more head voice. Now, it's kind of semi-classical. Later on in the show, it gets a lot higher. This piece isn't that high yet, and it needs to be kind of light. If you were doing it full out operatically, it would be a little bit of a different voice color as far as the head voice goes. It would be much thicker and much it would have to carry so much more. But since a musical theater show is usually also done amplified, which means you have a mic, you can actually use a voice color that's a little bit lighter than if you were doing full-out opera. And we don't want that full-out opera sound. We want still kind of a modern poppy sound, but it's with a classical side to it. Think of me, comma, which means breathe. Think of me fondly when we've said goodbye. Remember me once in a while. Please promise me you'll try. So, breathe where it makes sense. When there's a comma, breathe. When it's in the middle of the sentence, just go on singing through there. So that jump, that's a hard thing here. So what you need to try to do is not to kind of aim for the top and let it stand out. Said goodbye. Don't just like attack it, but try to stay light. Try to think the bottom note as the heavier one and the top one as the light one, but very open. And what's really important here is that you drop your jaw in a very relaxed state right here. And although it says goodbye and you'll try, it's an ooh, think the ooh very open. Said goodbye. So don't go said goodbye. And here, me you'll try. So the bottom one and then light. Bottom one light. Said goodbye. Me you'll try. And what's really important in order to get these top notes light is that you don't put a lot of pressure on your throat. Good support, but stay very open and don't make any barriers. Otherwise, it's going to be like this. Promise me you'll try. Whenever you have a sign of breathiness, that's not a good sign. It should not be breathy. It should be light. If it's breathy, you're most likely putting too much pressure on your throat. So you should work on relaxing that throat a little bit and just having the tension on your vocal cords as far as closure goes. So very good support, very important here. And then we go on. When you find that once again you long to take your heart back and be free. Again here, stay light. Don't go overboard. I know it's kind of high, but for singing in head voice, it's not that high. It shouldn't be. When you find that once again you long to take your heart back and be free. I think it should be light. Christine is this very kind of a shy, kind of very nice girl. And the nice girls never have this too dark color. They always have a light color, and it should be easy. It should at least look and sound as if it was easy. So again, if you can make it in one breath here in this phrase, it would be awesome. If not, you can breathe in between. When you find that once again you long, you can breathe here, to take your heart back and be free. If you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me. So I don't know if you noticed it, but whenever there's a or the, I don't go the, but the. It's so much better to be sung through there. Spare a thought. And also the. To take your heart back and be free. So, and again, that once again. Open up those vowels. Then comes this transition. And so on and so on. And then it goes on, and you should again try to pay attention to the phrasing. We never said our love was evergreen, nor is unchanging as the sea. So this is the hardest phrase. It appears again, that unchanging. So that's really hard to sing. Unchanging. So what you have is a n on the very top, on the F, and also a diphthong that goes into an E sound, unchanging. So that's very difficult to sing. So what you're going to have to do is to play with the vowels a little bit. We never said our love was evergreen, or is So the should be very open. I find it a little bit easier if the changing, if I do it a little bit more closed. If you do unchanging, it sounds kind of funny. Or is unchanging as the sea. It's singable, but I don't know. It doesn't sound that right. Or is unchanging as the sea. I love the more closed version a little bit better. And the if you do it a little bit more closed, is actually very singable. Or is unchanging as the sea. So very good support. If you don't have good support, those nasal sound like the is not going to come out right. Very, very, very good support. And that goes for the whole song, but especially here. Or is unchanging as the sea. But if you can still remember, stop and think of me. And so on. So what you notice here, I actually do transition into chest voice a little bit, but it's not a heavy chest voice. Otherwise, those low notes are not going to have any power, and they're going to be kind of breathy, airy, and weak, and it's going to be really hard to sing them. Stop and think of. That's definitely more chest voice, but it's not of me. So very, very light. And then comes this next, and here again, think of. Again, light, very light and very open. Thinking think of all the things. Think of all the things we shared and seen. Don't think about the things which might have light chest voice again been. Very light. Stay very natural throughout the piece. Also, and here especially, it's so important. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Very, very extremely clear diction. Now what it will do is it will not only help you to be understood better, but it will also open up that resonating space, because when you're putting in a lot of work and you think of all the things we could have shared, we've shared and seen, it really opens up the cavity in here. Think of me waking silent and resigned. Again, and also this is really nice if you put the D at the end and very, very exact. Resigned. Imagine me trying too hard to put you from my mind. Again here, from my mind. It's hard, the M, but just really concentrate on singing through that nasal sound. From. If you can sing the then the ah will come easy. From my mind. And although there's a diphthong, my, the E comes at the very end. You don't even really need to do that much of it. From my mind. I mean, that would be kind of Texan, from my mind. But what I want to say is just very little E in the diphthong. Recall those days, look back on all those times, think of the things we'll never do. And again, don't think on never do, can't sing on doesn't sound elegant. There will never be a day, again, a day, when I won't think of you. And here, I would breathe before the of you. I mean, I wouldn't in a show, but you can definitely breathe there. And then the you, although it is high, it's actually pretty good singable. You don't have to do it too narrow. Of you is not singable. Yo. Think more. Yo. Yo. Like you could still hear it as an ooh if I do yo. You still hear a clear ooh in the second one I did. And then comes Raul actually. He sings, which I usually leave that out. Can it be Christine? What a change, you're really not at all the gawkish girl that once you were. That's him. She may not remember me, but I remember. Then come she again. We never said our love was evergreen. Breathe. Always unchanging. I would do it more close. Always unchanging as the sea. But please promise me that sometimes you will think. And now comes the end cadenza. And here's my big piece of advice. Don't see that whole end cadenza and think, whoa, that's a lot of black stuff on those staves there. A lot of notes on there. Group it. I'll show you. It's always groups. Da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. And then again, even the 16th. Let me see. And do them short. Just do the last one longer and the other ones short. And then groups of 4, which means the first ones are 3. So it's da 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 da. And then speed it up. But first do it slow. Always start very slow. And then comes this. Now, the secret, it's a B flat. It's kind of high, but it's not extremely high. For head voice, you can probably do it. So, in order to practice that high note, do this. Don't just jump into the note yet. Just do like a high sigh. Like now do it again and just hold it on the top. What's important is that you let just the tiniest bit of air through and that you don't get all tense here. Don't go What it does usually, it really tenses up your jaw, but at the same time makes you really narrow back there in your pharynx. Usually you go versus, look at my mouth inside. Half tone up. Narrow inside, too much tension. Stay relaxed here. what's really important here, whenever you sing the high notes, don't get too tense and don't go like, ugh. Keep your body relaxed, but put all the tension into your support. That's very important. And of course, with a piece like this, it will take practice. So if you're not in good practice with head voice, it's going to take some time. But I tell all my students all the time, it's an awesome way to practice. Doing something classical or even semi-classical like this one right here is awesome because it will really train you to be very clean and clear and exact, and that's a good thing. Also your diction, you can work on your diction. You have to be a lot more thorough here. So I hope these tips helped you a little bit today to sing this awesome piece by Lloyd Webber. Tune back in on Thursday for another Q&A session, and also on Friday for Freya singing tips videos. Also, I wanted to make another announcement. My podcast has been launched. Yes, Freya Singing Tips, the podcast. So now you can listen to me on the go whenever you're outside, on your smartphone, or even from your computer from iTunes. So just go to iTunes, just search for Freya Casey or Freya Singing Tips. You could also do it from any Android phone, any of your favorite podcast apps. You can hear me there, and I'm there a few times a week. Don't have a schedule yet. I think I'll get into a schedule, but I have a few episodes out now. I would love it if you check that out, and also, of course, it would help me so much if you could leave me a review on iTunes. That's all I wanted to say today. So, hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget, always keep a song in your heart, and always keep on singing. Bye.